All right, everyone, we are going to start this war video with map at a glance. If you'd like to skip this part of the video, just check the description and hit the plan timer and you'll skip all of it. But taking a look at bands first, we've got S99, Apocalypse, and Ghost on top of the Human Torch and Hercules bands. So first boss island, we've got a Gallon boss. Probably go with Blade. You've got Symbiote Supreme if Stagger works out, and you've got Hyperion if the energy resistance is not a pain in the butt. Tigress still does work as an option. 54 Chavez, got Mr. Negative, got Scorpion, even have Magic. 54 Dragon Man, I would just go ahead and strictly use Nebula. 51, you've got Doom. I would probably go with Magneto and the heal block synergy and then maxing out Pacify or using Archangel and leaving it up to RNG. Mephisto, probably just go ahead and use Kitty and avoid stunning altogether. Sunspot would be a good bit risky with all the power gain. Sasquatch, probably an easy Archangel fight. If you've got a Quicksilver available, he's probably a good option there as well. Bishop on Hazard Shift, you can just Quake that, Rolk it, you can anti-venom it, plenty of options. And then King Groot on Safeguard. I would probably go with Tigra since she's still working, but there's probably an argument for champions like Hood or Doom, well not Doom, Hood, and just waiting out the Conduit debuff afterwards, or hoping that he just kind of shrugs it with a random Fury. Section 2, nothing stands out as problematic. Path 2, I'd probably just send a Kitty Pryde there. But Path 1 and Path 3 are pretty standard, and then Surfer, Cosmic Ghost Rider, or Null. And there's probably a few other options as well, like Archangel and just ignoring everything. And then you can't see the shared 24 there, EMP. It's Hyperion. I'd probably go with Hulkling, maybe test out Symbiote Supreme, see if that works. But yeah, not too many options for him there besides just kind of fighting around the global. And then going in 4 through 6, Section 2, Mordo, I'd probably go with Anti-Venom or Warlock. Nothing special about Path 4, 5, or 6, but Rintraw on, I believe it's 37 on the way out. No, it's 39 on the way out. Can be somewhat of a problem. I've seen Scorpion work. Mr. Negative probably could work. You just really want to fight him in the middle of the field, probably even Warlock. And then 7 through 9, Maw going in, probably use Kingpin Synergy Team. Nothing new really about Path 7. Just make sure either Warlock or Archangel or Sick and Tired for Blade. Nothing special about 8 or 9. Can probably get away with Kingpin for Cersei. Again, Synergy Team, and just kind of back off after knocking her down. And then Thing there at the end, I mean, Falcon is pretty much going to make that easy. I know it has AoE, but if that becomes a problem, I guess someone like Quake or Black Cat could help out. All right, and then the 2 middle minis, I'd probably go with Mr. Negative for both. You can maybe get away with Magneto or Cap for Peni. You probably use Cap for Mangog as well. Going into Section 1, Terrax there, kind of a challenge. I'd probably just Kitty Pryde it. I don't know that you can Quake that. You probably can. You would just have to fight regen from time to time. But nothing special about 1, 3, or 1, 2, or 3. 3 is actually a good path for Hulkling or Gallon if you already have one available. If not, you got to look into another immune to power drain option, like King Groot or Terrax. 4 through 6, again, nothing really standing out super crazy there. Pretty standard, and Killmonger shouldn't be too much of an issue for options that already exist. You can even Doom cycle him. And then 7 through 9, again, nothing we haven't seen before. That Fury there, I would probably go ahead and just use a Kitty Pryde or strong arm it with, or cheese it with Penny Parker. But yeah, that is the end of the war map. Let's go ahead and take a look at attack for this war. All right, so this is War 6 of Season 36, technically. It's against GT40. This is going to be a non-push war, so a chill war for us. Today I have the pleasure of bringing in Hulkling, War Machine, and Mr. Negative. I've got Path 3 in Section 1, the 2 middle mini-bosses, Path 1 in Section 2, and then a mini-boss on Boss Island. All right, so not a push war means we're not going to max boost. We're not going to really look at class boosts unless we have something specific we're going to test out. And we want to avoid gray boosting unless we feel it's necessary for a fight. And it's okay to kind of test out whether that is the case or not. So first path here, this is going to be all Hulkling. This node has a new armor up benefit where it power drains you for every armor up that they have, and it deals damage for it. Since Hulkling is immune to that, it's actually going to help ramp him and build his cosmic charges. Now the game plan here was to aggressively push to special 2 and then do a few blocked hits and then go into special 2 so that you get the double fury while unblockable and you just kind of wreck the defender. What I did not anticipate, just from lack of experience, was the special lock from the node and the armor ups, which also is new for this path. And what needed to happen was I needed to be painfully aware of how many blocked hits I had to become unblockable, and before actually landing an actual hit, throwing the special 2 while unblockable without the special lock up. So what you're gonna see here is that I'm constantly trying to kind of do that before I get to special 3, and I'm realizing I keep getting special locked, so I can't throw my special attack. There are actually a few times I set myself up and hit the button and nothing happens, and I kind of realize I don't actually know the interaction that well. So this Super Skrull fight ends up taking a lot longer than it should, and it ends up being a special 3 fest. So I actually go to special 3 pretty quickly after each special 3 animation. Ends up dragging the fight out. But it ended up being super safe, except for that parry there, but we have the regen buff that kind of counters that. Ended up being a super safe fight for Hulkling, a super fun fight for Hulkling because it ramps him like crazy, which means you just have an endless supply of buffs. So if we do manage to get that actual rotation off and perform it correctly, it would be a very fast fight. And then in season, or sorry, in an actual pushing war, with cosmic power back boosts, it would just be him cycling special 2 attacks. So pretty fun fight. Could have done without all the special 3 animations, but you see here we're pretty close to full health despite how long this fight is taking. Really, the only thing we're worried about here is paying attention to when the miss mechanic from Skrull's abilities pops up. So there are a couple times I actually wait for it to be ready before throwing the special 3 so that we can get rid of it pretty easily. And this special 3 should be the end of this fight. So down he goes, nice and easy. We didn't lose much health at all. But we did learn something during that fight, and we kind of try to correct ourselves in the next fight. So this fight has that special lock as well, and that power burn. So here, you're actually going to see me kind of pick up on what I need to do and actually execute it, and this fight goes by a lot faster. And sure, it's a rank 3 defender, but still, it was a learning game. So we're special locked, we're aggressively pushing to special 2. Once we are at special 2, and I actually mean you have 2 bars of power, not just shy of the 2 bars of power, that's when we need to back off, let the special lock expire, and you see there, kind of tried my old habit where I just hit into block and make sure I get 1 hit, and then here I'm aware of how many more blocked hits I need to do. I'm trying to get the AI to turtle, he turtles, I do the blocked hits, and I throw the special 2 immediately without actually making contact. So we're not special locked and we get the whole force of that special 2 in Colossus. And we're actually not going to be able to reach the next special 2 before we knock him out. So very effective counter to this path. Also a very flashy one just to kind of have fun with. So easy solo for Hulkling. Was happy I was able to bring him into war today. Next up, the two middle mini bosses. I am taking both with Mr. Negative. I'm still getting the hang of this Penny Parker fight with Mr. Negative. The only real challenge is having the shield down and enough dark energy to throw a big special 2 and make sure that it finishes her with degen, and that we don't have to worry about getting the shield down again and throwing another special attack or actually having to fight. So I did it without a PS1 this time. That's to avoid giving her any charges so that we have time to work on getting the shield down while building some light energy and converting it to dark energy without having to deal with auto block and power burn. So we banked 9 dark energy there. We're in a good spot. I realized later that I'm kind of working the shield off way too quickly. Maybe I should have taken some blocked hits here just to build some more power before actually trying to take this shield down. And it would have given me, more dark energy on the special 2. So shield's down. We're about a quarter of the way through the timer. We're not in a good spot because we're trying to rush the special 2 here, and she throws special 1, so that's going to eat up some time. And here, instead of parry heavying, I should have just comboed into special 2 or evade countered into special 2, and you can see there the timer's back up for the shield. So we throw this special 2 into her auto block, and it does pretty much no damage with the degen. So we're going to have to rework to special 2, and why that's a problem is we're going to end up getting nailed twice by her power drain ability, which means we're going to have to let some dark energy or some light energy just expire, and we're going to have to actually go through the shield, I believe, 2 times. So we're almost done here with that first time. Just waiting for her to kind of turtle, and she's not giving it to me. Getting close to the wall, getting a little nervous. She finally backs up, and I have an opening to get the shield down. So now we're good. We can be aggressive and push her back. And I'm actually going to be overly aggressive so that I can avoid getting cornered again. I'm kind of set on the fact that the light energy that I have right now built up is going to expire because I'm not going to get to a special 2. Backup recovery kicked in. So now we have to bait out the special 2 and hope we don't get nailed by it in the process. And she's being a bit stubborn here, just does not want to throw it. I think right about here she's finally going to throw it. Didn't catch us off guard, which is good, but now her shield's back up, and now we're working to get it off. Couple auto block miscues. She just wants to throw heavy attack after heavy attack, even though we're keeping our block completely down. Trying to get this last bit off here, and we're actually going to, I think we're going to be well shy of special 2 by the time it comes down, unfortunately. But unlike last time, I'm not going to try and parry heavy before dropping it. I am actually going to just evade counter, bank the energy, or the light energy is dark energy, and then aggressively push to special 2. So here we go, aggressively pushing to special 2. I'm not worried that she's not going to throw that special 1. We're just going to go right into special 2. More than enough time. This is what should have happened the first time. We've got 19 degen on her, and down she goes. So made it twice, maybe even 3 times as long as it needed to be. So, but was happy I saved it. Mangog here. This is the benefit of having a chill war. I wanted to test this. Thought I'd give it a shot. This is a rank 4 Mangog. One key thing you have to remember here with Mr. Negative is that the evade counter is a light attack. So you can actually evade counter medium light and then end your combo. But my game plan here was to build some light energy before actually hitting him, because I don't want him to do more than 2 special 1s before dropping my special 2. And then we can use this delirium to kind of reduce his combat power rate, which really only helps with the power focus 1. So we're alternating parry heavy here. We're alternating evade counter medium, medium light. We're also sometimes just going parry medium light. And here I'm going to end up reparrying from block. We're going to evade counter from block here. We're going to go medium light into special 2. So I actually set myself up exactly how I wanted to with this fight. And now we're going to go back into that whole strategy. I'm going to evade counter here, medium light, parry. We're actually going to convert here, trying to convert that into light energy. There's the parry heavy, and then we're going to end him here with an evade counter. So my game plan actually worked out perfectly for this Mangog, and I was very happy about that. Now, Hulkling's last fight, and I was super eager to test him on this node, but I have been seeing Hyperion here, which I know can get pretty dicey. It needs an invulnerability boost, and I threw on a special 3 defense boost just in case. But the reason I wanted to test Hulkling here was because the node has 2 node abilities that feed his cosmic charges, and that's Burden of Might, because he's immune to power drain, and it's the shock from EMP. So we should be able to easily build buffs on this node and build energy despite Burden of Might and all our buffs because of his passive power gain from converting his charges to buffs. So the only 2 things we have to pay attention to here is Bubble Shield and Hyperion throwing special attacks. There is a third thing we have to pay attention to, and that's after dropping a big special 2, that we wait out the debuff before we throw another special attack, expecting to take off chunks of damage. Now you could probably still use power back boost, and here's the first special 3, but I would not suggest throwing a special 2 immediately after that. Just wait out the debuff and then build yourself up from the second unblockable special 2. But here we're at medium boosts. Here's our first special 2. We don't get any crits, which is expected with AoE. It has some crit resistance to it, but we have him, a little past 50% on medium boosts. And here's the second special 3. And up until this point, Hyperion was kind of stingy with his special attacks besides his special 3. And he's suddenly going to go ahead and start throwing special attacks when I'm trying to get him to block. So, seems like a good counter, but it still, in my opinion, definitely needs an invulnerability boost. And then you're kind of relying on what the AI is going to give you. But to be honest, I'm not too sure what the best option is here, besides maybe no, you can't use magic. You could use magic, I guess, but you'd have to wait out the debuff on top of trying to avoid triggering dexterity before throwing a special 2. And there's our second special 2. So he would be KO'd here if we were max boosted. And here is finally the third special 3. And we are actually not going to be able to get to another special 2 before we take him out. The only reason we couldn't before this special 3 was because the conduit was healing him up with the damage I was doing. So we're just really waiting for that debuff to fall, only hitting him so that we don't get cornered. And this will be his last special attack, and that will do it. So Hulkling coming in clutch for probably a good placement. Going into War Machine's only fight, I put the armory boost here pre-fight for this fight. I jokingly called him a discounted Nimrod, which I don't have, which would probably be the easiest counter here. But the special 1 suppression debuff removes a prowess for each debuff it places. And I actually did not realize it was 1 suppression debuff to prowess. And I caught it here when he was suddenly back at 7 really quick when I thought I had removed them all. And I realized it's 1 for 1, not they all get removed. But I actually do very much enjoy War Machine. Before going into this fight, I thought I might try and push the special 2 at least once to get an armor break so that we can get the damage ramped up even more. And then guarantee that Rupture gets placed every time with special 1, and then just using heavy attacks to refresh. But it's a bit risky with the fact that we don't remove all prowess. And I did not feel like dealing with a constantly unblockable Sauron between both the node and his abilities on this until we got to special 1 following an armor break. So just played it safe. As you can see here, worked out perfectly fine. We didn't lose a lot of health at all. Fight didn't take a crazy amount of time, and we end it with a flashy heavy attack with a big crit. So War Machine did his only job, very well. And then the last two fights are all Mr. Negative. This is Buffet, Manthing on Buffet, Mr. Negative food, 4 days. Only difference from any other war is that I'm not using a PS1 here. And I'm obviously not max boosted. But anyways, not using a PS1 here means that we're going to actually build more dark energy, almost double, than we would in a regular war before dropping a special 2. So we got to our 9 here. He's being a little cautious. We finally get him to come in, evade, counter, off block. And then we're going to build the last 11 charges between getting him to throw that special attack and then going back to parry heavies as we build the special 2. So one more parry heavy here. Back up, turtle, evade, counter, off block. We're at 20 dark energy. We're going to do a full combo into special 2. And this is going to give us 21 degens with that double petrify. And he's just going to melt away. His regen does trigger the node, but it's not going to trigger enough to go unblockable. Nice and easy Mr. Negative fight. And then the last one is AoE Chavez, rank 4. Figured this would work because her only passive power gain besides Mystic Dispersion is from having dimensions up and throwing special 1. So as long as we don't get a heavy attack, happy Chavez, we should be good. Game plan here was to parry, don't attack. Parry, heavy. And I do believe I evade counter after this next parry, heavy. So we're at 8. We're going to use the Delirium, but we're still going to push her past special 1. Bait this out. She throws it immediately, which is good. Going back to parry heavy. And this time, instead of parry and no attack at the start, I'm going to do it at the end. So right here, we're going to parry and not attack. Back up, set ourselves up for evade counter. With 17 dark energy, we're going to build the special 2, drop it, and she is just going to melt. Bait out the special 1. We got lucky she didn't throw a heavy there, but it's the end of the fight anyways. And away she goes. So solid counter with S99 gone. Kitty Pride is also a pretty good counter. But that was the end of my war. Pretty fun war, but a long war. BG2 actually ended up losing a lot of attack bonuses. There was a lot of testing going on and not successful testing. And we ended up losing this war, obviously, by a lot more deaths. We gave up a lot more deaths than we should be. Attack bonuses still kind of matter. Shouldn't be treated like an off-season war, but it is what it is. Kind of end up with gray area when you talk about being chill and then deciding to push. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys at the next war.